This is Joshua Hart here for Seconds Out. Delighted today to be joined by my good friend and top trainer, Mark Tibbs. Mark, we're going to forget that I've already had to say that once in this call. It's good to see you. Good to have you on today. How is everything?
Lovely, Josh. Everything's good. I've been busy and excited for the gunfight that OK Corral on Saturday at Wembley Stadium. Cannot wait for that. And yeah, and I've got some fighters out in the next couple of weeks as well. Yeah, myself.
Well, we'll start off by talking about your fighters. Just talking to you briefly off camera there. I can see how excited you are for all their next fights. You know, gym's buzzing. Everyone's on fire at the moment. We'll start off with Joel Bartell. He's out next week. Friday night, York Hall on the Charlie Edwards versus Thompson Somber undercard. How's Joel been getting on in camp?
Yeah, Joel is he's such a consummate professional. You have to hold him back a little bit because he could burn himself out, you know what I'm saying? So he's easy to train. You just got to keep an eye on him, make sure he don't go overboard. And but he's got his rhythm back because after that narrow defeat against Jordan Reynolds at the O2 a couple of months ago was a bit of a kick in the backside. But he's landed himself a job on the Channel 5 Wasserman show, thanks to Nisa and Callie Sowland. Big up to them two. So yeah, so let's give him some fire in his belly, which you don't really have to, don't have to look hard for fire in his belly. Joel's a natural entertainer, love to fight, love to brawl. He's trusting he's got to box his way in and box his way out a little bit more than rely on his fighting capabilities. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm happy with Joel. He's probably got one more spar left tomorrow. But I'm really happy where he's at right now. Yeah, looking forward to Friday week. York Hall, Bethnal Green, 27th September.
How much can he take away? Obviously, you mentioned the narrow defeat last time out to Jordan Reynolds. While obviously no fighter ever wants to lose, you always want to be on the winning side. How much has he been able to take away, and as a collective, as a team, how much have you been able to take away and look at things to tweak and make him a better fighter overall?
Well, it's probably don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but I think someone with Joel's nature has to go through things like that because he wouldn't, if you don't go through things like he did, probably wouldn't understand, if you know what I mean, if you can get what I'm saying. But he's a good fighter, Joel, really a good fighter. He really is. He's good on the eye, and he can dig in. He can dig in. But, if he can box clever while he's fighting, he'll last longer. And then he'll get to his real man strength, 29, 28 years of age. And he won't understand until he gets there what man strength is. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, Mark. I mean, I don't know what man strength is myself just yet. I'm still on the younger side, but I'm sure, like you said, I'll understand it one day. Another young man that you've got fighting soon, just the day after Joel, Giorgio Visioli. He's back in Sheffield. We've seen last time out, we saw a bit of a different side to him. We saw that he can box under instruction. He doesn't need to go searching for the finish. It was a flawless points victory last time out. What are you looking for Giorgio to showcase this next fight week in Sheffield?
Well, Giorgio Violi, he's had some great sparring for this camp. I won't mention top names, world title campaigners.
Yeah, we've still got everything. Just back on Giorgio Visioli in Sheffield next week.
Yeah, Giorgio Violi is well, what can I say about him? He's got one more spar left. Now, I don't care if you don't get it or have it. We've got something booked for him tomorrow, but he's had some really world-class, European-class sparring for this fight. And because he's made of that stuff, he wants it. And I'm petering him down a little bit, like winding him down a little bit. So I've got him, some stuff which he can enjoy himself and not be on tenderhooks all the time. And he's absolutely outstanding. He's so advanced. He's so quick-witted and responsive and great counter puncher. And as soon as I say, right, I looked at the clock yesterday, while sparring, and I went, right, crash that backhand through, crash that left cross through. He's a southpaw. and he knew exactly what I meant, and he'd give me the right distance, or he'd give himself the right distance. He's just such a wonderful fighter to work with, and very, very special talent. Giorgio Violi, indeed. I've said it before and I say it again, but he just gets better with him. He's outstanding for sure, and very strong as well. Yeah.
Would you say that there's an element of, obviously all boxers work very hard, but there's some that have that natural talent? Would you say Giorgio's got a bit of that natural talent for the game?
A bit,
A
a
lot.
bit. He is a natural.
Pure natural.
He is an absolute natural, and you just got to be manoeuvred, and put in the oven at times, let him feel it. But he's he's a natural. He's a natural box fighter, beautiful boxer. Yeah.
And obviously, just not turn away from your fighters, but obviously a fighter that was meant to have a fight date that has now had to be cancelled. Johnny Fisher, we were meant to see him face Andrei Rudenko next, but injury to the arm, but one that he said he's caught nice and early. Well, a little bit frustrating. Glad that you've caught it early and not gone through with the fight.
Well, yeah, Johnny's a smart individual. He would have weighed up the situation. He has weighed up the situation, and I knew he had a niggle. Tell the truth, I knew he had a niggle. I didn't. Then he had scans. He had a couple of scans, and took advice from the doctors, and he lives to fight another day. And yeah, smart move by Johnny. Well done to him, and he'll go again before Christmas. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Fair enough. And then a fighter that we are seeing back. It feels like the first time in a while we've seen some fight news from him. Tommy Fletcher. I spoke to Tommy yesterday, October 18th. He's back. He's got a nice step up in opponent from what it seems. Good to have Tommy back and getting him active again following having his tonsils removed.
Fan-bloody-tastic. Tommy Fletcher, he's had his tonsils removed, which he should have done 2 years ago. And but it is what it is, and he's acting, and he knows it's he feels better. He said, "Mark, blimey," he said, he didn't say he misses getting run down, but he got run down every 2 weeks. He said, "I can't believe it." He said, he's training, his times are good on the track. I took him to the track last night, and I like to question the time because he was so on point. You know what I mean? But he's only got 4 weeks left, I think. For his fight, 18th of October, York Hall, Bethnal Green, the Norfolk Nightmare, Deontay Wilder II, and he's going to be a better fighter now. He's had them tonsils out, and he's over the moon. We've got starting him sparring tomorrow. Good sparring got for him. Got a great opponent for him that's gonna make him think and give him the well needed rounds. Tommy Fletcher, yeah, he's doing a bit of S&C at the moment with Sonny Cannon, our strength and conditioner here at the Origin Gym. So yeah, he's on point. He's up to scratch. He's where he needs to be for the 18th of October. Yeah.
What is the plan? Obviously, looking ahead for Tommy. Obviously, focus on October 18th, but we've seen some similar level fighters at his level start progressing towards that title level now. Someone that's been linked with him a lot over his career is Alois Jr. And last time out, we saw him compete for his first titles as a professional. How far away is Tommy from that level?
Not far at all. Not far at all. We're just getting back, get some momentum with him. He's get some momentum with him, and let him feel what it's like to be healthy. Let him feel healthy and strong, and enjoy his training and his camp. He never moaned and groaned ever with them tonsils as they was. But listen, it was easy to see he'll be a changed man if he was to have them out, and now they're out. So he's got weapons of mass destruction in both hands, yeah. And he's going to realise, and he's going to perform and act like a man who's got weapons of mass destruction. Indeed, he can box as well. He's a beautiful boxer, long range, 6'7". He's a nightmare for anyone in the world, let alone domestically, for sure.
Something that I spoke to him about yesterday was, does he feel his IQ and the way he can box is underrated just due to how hard he can hit? Would you say that because of the power, it almost disguises how smart of a boxer Tommy Fletcher can be.
Well, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, there would have been a time where he always relied on that power, until he joined this gym here, and myself. You know, always from day dot, I was starting to work with him. You know, because I spent a lot of time with Richard Riakapor, whose boxing ability wasn't brilliant, and it always got him out of trouble. But there's it'll take you a certain far. It'll take you a certain way in boxing, because good boxers love to fight big punches, if they're only big punches, because they're easy to maneuver and chip away and finally put them away. So Tommy Fletcher is, you know, I've always put that into his head to, you know, and this guy who he's fighting will test that part of Tommy Fletcher. It will make him box and outfox and chip away before he can crack away. And that's what I intend for Tommy to do on the 18th of October on the TNT show, Your Call, Queensbury Boxing.
Indeed. And then just very lastly on some of the fighters that you've been working with, back at the weekend now in Newcastle, you had Elle Brooke out and topping the bill, another Misfits card, and a very good performance again. I think she's really starting to get into that element where boxing fans around the world are starting to give her that respect that she deserves, because you can see that she is a serious fighter. She treats the game seriously. She doesn't take it for any sort of joke. What is it like working with Elle and seeing the progression that she's made since she started this new journey in boxing?
Well, Elle joined our gym, joined myself through Johnny Fisher. Actually, he introduced me to Elle, and I've just treated Elle like one of the boys. She's been on many training camps with me, and some of the boys would be, and I say training camps, we've been around Europe, around Spain, training, even in America, and she's mixed with professionals. So yeah, I'd expect her to behave and act like a professional, and she really did make me proud Saturday night in Newcastle, for sure. The way she carried herself and that, and the way she boxed, and she boxed brilliantly. Absolutely, I didn't really digest it till the next day when I watched the replay, and she actually boxed out of her skin, masterclass. But she's a strong puncher, and I like to have got a bit vicious, a little bit stuck in at times. But the girl she was fighting weren't no fault. She was a southpaw and had a backhand like all southpaws. So she was trying to time Elle with the one-shot backhand, and she had big legs, this girl. I expect her to come forward, because in her bare knuckle fights she did come forward a lot, and with fast hands. So she boxed totally different, but testament to Brooke. She cut the ring off like a true professional. She boxed her way in, and she boxed her way in. She walked her down, this girl, but she boxed well. We practiced the left hook for this fight because everyone talks about her right hand, and it's a great right hand. She's done three of her opponents with a right hand in good fashion. So we wanted to show off the left hook. It's almost there.
Nearly there.
No, she's done a good job, and she's been fun to work with, and a great professional. Yeah, for sure.
Very good to hear. Well, Mark, we may as well dive straight into the business end now. This weekend, like you mentioned at the start, I think we get a much needed big fight in the UK. And we're even getting treated some Wednesday night fights tomorrow night after the public workout Riyadh season and not messing about. But when we look at this weekend, it's finally here. Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. We get that big fight feel again in the UK. You know, I feel like there's a real buzz now that fight week.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it all yourself, Josh. It's like it's finally here, and it's in the UK. And it's a heavyweight dinger. It don't get much better. I've actually got 2 tickets, so but I've actually got 2 tickets, but I've got a busy, crazy life at the minute. So so I am looking forward to going for sure. And I'm not too sure about the undercard. Who's on the undercard? Remind me.
Well, we're going to run through that because I want to get your predictions on the fight. So we may as well dive straight into these predictions now. So we'll start off with the first fight of the night. We've got Mark Chamberlain versus Josh Padley. Josh Padley's a fighter that I've seen come through the small hall circuit and has been offered this big fight against Mark Chamberlain, who is His Excellency's favourite fighter. It's a real interesting matchup.
Yeah, well, listen, I don't know his opponent, but I like Mark Chamberlain. I've seen him in and around the gym sparring, uh, and I like him. Strong guy. Is it middleweight?
I think it's lightweight.
Lightweight. I beg your pardon. Excuse me for that, but I
Yeah,
do
right.
like Mark Chamberlain. He's down from Portsmouth way, isn't he? Is that
Yes.
Portsmouth?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I know
spotted.
that. I know that boy. Yeah, no, yeah. So looking forward to that one. Sounds like a good one.
Then we've got what I think after that we've got Josh Kelly versus Ishmael Davis. Originally meant to be Liam Smith, but a virus has had to force him to pull out. Ishmael Davis took the call, and we see a clash at middleweight between two fighters who are normally super welters. But when you look at that fight between the two, who do you believe comes out on top?
Well, I like Josh Kelly. You know, I've never disliked him, but I just couldn't see it. But I respect Adam Booth and his belief in Josh. And a couple of fights ago, he turned it on, and I get it. I get it. So obviously, I got to go with Josh. And shame about the Smith fight fell through because I was looking forward to that. But yeah, Josh Kelly, yeah.
And then we have Hamza Shiras versus Tyler Denny. A very intriguing matchup. Two of the most likable guys in boxing, I'd say. How do you see that one going when they get in the ring?
Wicked fight, wicked fight, great fight. I've got to go with Hamza. Hamza, Hamza. He's an Essex boy, so he's East London boy, come Essex. So I've got to go with Hamza on that. Nice, tall, rangy, not bad counter puncher, and coming along really, really nice. I like him. Like him.
How do you see Hamza dealing with someone like Tyler Denny, who's got such a ferocious work rate and will be there for as long as he can?
Yeah, I agree with you. He's ready for these fights. He needs these fights in order to get the big fights. You know what I mean? So this is a natural progression, and this fight, God willing, he comes through because it ain't a foregone conclusion. But his handlers must be confident or will be confident in Hamza. But I am myself, and I'm not around him, but I know what they're doing with Hamza, and yeah, it's the right fight for sure. Yeah, be a good fight, but not a foregone conclusion.
And then we see a clash in the super featherweight division, Anthony Kachi versus Josh Warrington. A fight that if you mentioned a few years back, you would have never expected. Anthony Kachi almost had a little bit of hard luck. I won't even say a little bit, he had a lot of hard luck in the sport, but he now finds himself IBF world champion. He takes on Josh Warrington, a former two-time world champion. Who do you see winning that one?
Did Kakashi beat Joe Cordina?
Yes. Beat him
Yes,
on the
yes,
Fury
yes,
Music
yes,
card.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great fight. Kakashi, who's he fighting? Tell me again.
Josh Warrington.
Josh Warren. Oh, mate, what a fight. Blimey. Is
Great
this
fight.
on Saturday? Is this the appetizer
Yeah, this is on Saturday. This is all on Saturday.
before the big one?
Yes.
Oh, my God. What a show.
It's
Brilliant.
clear to see you're very excited, aren't you, Mark?
Oh,
It's here.
mate. Oh, mate. You know what? I've been out and about myself, working with my own fighters around the country, and I've finally got the weekend at home, and I can't wait. What a night this is going to be! Brilliant.
Well, how do you see it unfolding when Kakachi and Warrington meet?
Um, has Josh been inactive a little bit? He's had a couple of fights fell through, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think it's nearly been a year since we last saw Josh Warrington in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? I'm going with Kakachi.
Any in particular method?
Um, just because of his confidence where he'll be after beating Joe Cordina. And yeah, I don't know too much about him. And Josh has been around a little while now. Still got good fight in him, but leave himself open a little bit. Great fight. Can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah.
And then we still have one more fight to predict before we get to the big one. We've got Joshua Buatsi versus Willie Hutchinson for the WBO interim light heavyweight world title. A lot on the line in this one. There's a bit of bad blood between them, but the winner will become mandatory for the world title. How do you see them getting on against each other?
Um, I fancied Richards against Hutchinson, and to be honest with you, and Hutchinson done a great job on him, on Richards. Absolutely done a job on him. I like his confidence as well, and but Buatsi, I think he's a bit tuned. He's a bit seasoned. I think he's a good fight, but I fancy Buatsi.
And then we'll turn to the main event.
But I've been wrong before, as I just said.
That's a good point. The main event, Daniel Dubois making his first defense of his IBF world title against Anthony Joshua. I'm going to go something a little bit different here. So I want to put you in the shoes. I know you said it's your weekend off, so you probably don't want to think about coaching this weekend. So I'm going to get the question in now. I want you to put yourself in the position of both Ben Davison and Don Charles. And we'll start off. So if you were coaching Anthony Joshua, what tactics would you be looking to give to him in order to break down someone like Daniel Dubois?
Well, Anthony, I think, would be, because of his wealth of experience in his time with the elite level around the world, would be very easy to coach, I guess. I'm guessing. He certainly seems he's got his confidence back, and that's for sure. But he hasn't fought against real fighters, with all due respect. I was just saying about the UFC fighter. What's his name?
Francis Ngannou.
Yeah. Just to talk about that guy. But you know what? He should. Oh, he is the favourite. He is the favourite. But listen, what you got to look at Daniel Dubois as well. Daniel Dubois is double hungry. He's hungry. And he has got something about him, as we all know, where he wants to kill, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He wants it badly. I hate to use that word, but just being honest. So this fight is intriguing. Is so intriguing. And they both do the basics very, very well. And it is all about the basics. You know what I'm saying? But a little bit leaky, Dubois. And AJ can be defense, you know what I mean? But unless you're in and around them and coach them personally, it's not fair for me to talk about game plans. But they've got to be defensively but offensively at the same time, but get off first. And listen, they both have a great jab. Both of them have a great jab, and it's all about the jabs. Jab is key for distance, and both have good timing. Look at Dubois. Look what he's done. He could have been a world champion against Alexander Usyk, because I thought that was a great shot to the body. I thought that was a good body shot. I thought that was kosher, that body shot. But he's rose again, and Don Charles, I think, is doing a great job. Great job with Daniel, and So listen. I don't like to, but I am sitting on the fence, because that's anyone's fight.
Oh, that is tough. That is very, very tough. It's one of those ones where you look at the styles, you run through as many scenarios as you can in your head, and you just can't seem to split them, can you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think whoever can be the dominator, the confuser with the jab, the right hand's going to come from any of them. Yeah? So whoever can be the dominator and the confuser and the occupier with the left hand and gets the backhand off, where it's over the top, down the pipe, bring it up or whatever. They both want each or either. If they catch them first, they're both going to go sleep. They're both going to rock. They're both going to rock. You know what I mean? They're both going to rock, and then they've got to follow up. Either or either who gets off first has got to follow up.
Who would you say is the harder puncher out of the two? I know it's very hard to split them, but who do you feel has that little edge in power?
Listen, what it is, Anthony is obviously, because of his wealth of experience, a little bit more polished, and he should be. But He's had his downs with his switching trainers a lot. But he looks like he's on the up now. So that's that. Daniel's mindset looks better than it's ever been. Yeah. And he's going onwards and upwards. I mean, Anthony's there. Is he plateauing? We don't know until this fight. Plateauing or declining, we won't know till Saturday night. If that makes sense, I make sense to myself, Josh.
No, you make sense. Don't worry, I understand what you're saying, Mark. It's been a pleasure to catch up with you as always. And yeah, enjoy the fights this weekend since you got your tickets, because you're definitely doing better than me. I'll be watching from my sofa, all tucked up. Just make sure you wrap up warm. It might be a cold one. That's all I'd say.
Yes, lovely, Josh. Listen, it don't matter where we're sitting, we'll all be looking at the screens. Trust me. I might as well just be indoors.
Fair enough, Mark. Thank you very much for talking to Seconds Out.
Cheers, Josh. All the best, mate.